Crazy to see me as a puppet, ain't it? Human Cam is also here. Hi guys, it's me. That's how serious this is. I had to pull other cams from the multiverse to make this. I'm also just gonna switch between the puppet and me. Ethycs and Talon, they've been fighting so badly that I had to step in and hopefully diffuse the situation. I'll be watching the most recent reaction video by Ethycs, my response. I'll also be looking at some other parts of the series too, for reasons unexplained. But before we get into that, I already have my first critique. That's right, I said it. I haven't even started the video, and I already have a critique. Because those two think they're so cool critiquing the video like 4 seconds in, but I'm gonna one-up them. Look at these videos and look at their times.
Assuming that every time a new reaction video is made, all the clips from the previous reaction video are shown in full context and not clipped. The whole saga should currently run to have a total of 2 hours and 35-ish minutes. Thus, by that math, the most recent reaction video, mine, should be automatically at least 2 hours and 35 minutes long, plus the video commentary adding to a whole 3 hours. Before the doom scrollers click off because this video doesn't hit the dopamine hit, you're unfortunately in luck. The most recent reaction video by Ethycs is only 35 minutes long.
This goes way deeper. Talon himself, way back in the very first animation video, only goes to the 5-minute mark of the video, and he skips the rest. My dear friend Ethycs also got this treatment in Talon's most recent reaction video. Ethycs, you aren't in the clear either. That video I'm watching today, not only does it cut a lot from the previous videos out, but it is so extremely cut that it's shorter than the previous video. How is this possible? I'll get to that in a minute.
You're so naive, Camden Cube. You think you have what it takes to make a good video even when you don't? You're living a fantasy.
Let me get this straight, Ethycs. You were able to make me willing to give you a video of me committing to the bit, but you only got a picture of Talon.
There's no Diagon, there is no Excalibur, and there aren't any redeeming qualities left for the all ones out.
Okay, but I think we all knew that. Ethycs, how dare you? When I read those lines, I thought they were gonna be for something innocent, but no. You made me look like I was slandering the arguably most greatest storytime animator of all time. Ethycs, you and I are storytime animators, just like him. Sure, he has a TV show, books, a few board games. But nonetheless, I respect the odd ones out.
This is the real world, and you need to wake up!
You dare challenge me, Talon?
This platform is big enough for 2 critics.
Oh, you're a critic, alright. Just not a super one.
What's the difference?
Oh man, I thought I was gonna get saved by the real Will Ferrell.
Well, folks, we're at it again. What exactly? I'll explain. See, this all starts with somebody called Talon the Amazing, a sentient draft weevil who thought he was the second coming of Daft Pina.
Well, if we're talking chronologically, the series of events you're about to bring up start with me. I'm sorry to be so egotistical, but I'm just stating the facts.
Over the few years or so, he's been working on something known as the Critical series. Basically, he reviews a whole bunch of smaller creators, mostly animators and such, and judges them for extremely minute details that have no real purpose in eternity.
Okay, I learned some things from Talon's critiques. That one animation mistake I made encouraged me to get better at animation. Did I improve? You know, if you want to talk about small details, the American flag facing the wrong way, it usually doesn't bother me personally, but if you are going to make this video randomly political and American, at least I expect the bare minimum of patriot knowledge.
I actually signed up to have some of my own videos reviewed myself in this third season, referred to as Extremely Critical.
So, if you thought Talon wasn't good at being critical, and he was ugly, why did you sign up for it? We signed up our Muppet video all those reaction videos ago. What did I say about fourth wall breaking?
Because, see, in my opinion, a lot of my animated videos are overrated, and I wanted some negative feedback on them for once, because, as a dysfunctional purple rabbit once said, I waited for months as he went on criticizing person after person. Some videos being admittedly reasonable. Others, absolute garbage. We will get back to that one, believe me.
Oh, so when Talon criticizes me, he's semi-agreeable, but when he criticizes Suni, you instantly take her side? No, I get it, it's fine. Don't care about me. It's not like I cared or anything.
But then finally, a handful of days ago, I got a brand new notification. I had been tagged in one of his videos. I was overcome with delight. Finally, after months of waiting, somebody was about to bash my artwork that I never really liked myself. I could live and sleep in peace.
Hey, Ethics. The last few critiques have been about you, and not Talon like I thought. And you're starting to bash yourself. Ethics, are you okay? We all love you, Ethics. Platonically, your art is good.
If only I was actually that lucky. See, it was early November last year when Talon made an overly critical video targeting my good old homie, Cam the Cube. 19 minutes of insufferable nonsense.
The video was actually 19 minutes and 21 seconds. I spent the entirety of the beginning of this whole video talking about math and video times. Don't try and prove me wrong.
As he ranted about things that honestly were either unintended or absolutely harmless. A couple days after that, I turned around and made it watchable by adding in my own nonsensical anecdotes and actually having a sense of humor. But I guess he didn't like that. Because this video, almost an hour long, mind you, was spent trying to reframe me as a sociopathic, manipulative liar.
Hey, I already gave a summary. Can you speed this up a little?
You bruised my ego, Talon, and I don't think I can stand for that.
So it's not even about the video that I made anymore. It's just about tickling what's ever left of your guys' egos. Why did I even do this?
And so, I have come back to clear my name and establish revenge. Hence the reason I've brought back the Ravenclaw hoodie even though it's the middle of July, and I've set up my lighting like Timu's shoe on head. Yes, I watch her videos, I'm a VTuber, it's basically a canon event at this point.
So, a VTuber slash animator slash indie showrunner slash IRL skit maker slash commission artist slash comic book writer and illustrator slash college kid slash emo kid slash novel writer slash guy versus whatever we label Talon as, and me, a plain old animator. Ethycs, I'll give you this. If this whole fight was based on title alone, you have the most chances of winning.
Oh, and since there were some complaints that my last video on Talon was unscripted, I came prepared this time. Let's begin, shall we?
We shall. I also have a script, by the way, so that'll show Talon, period.
Warning, this video is not the original creator who made the video talk about, and just check out their channel. Both of them will be linked in the description below. Check them out. Back to watching this video. Back to the video itself.
Hello, everyone.
Also, I would like to add that Talon rightfully called me out for one mistake I was making, where a lot of the clips that I had used of him in my initial video were way too long, averaging around a minute or even over a minute in some cases. I'm going to try not to do that this time around and cut it as short as possible while still maintaining the proper points and context.
Well, case in point. Look, Ethycs. It's one thing to agree with Talon to put words on paper.
I promise you, Ethycs, he's not that smart.
As someone who's made an upwards of 2 reaction videos, when making a reaction video, you have to react to the whole video. You can't clip it once. Even if you keep the context, it's bad if you clip it. Because that's less video to react to, therefore less content. And here on Cam the Cube channel, we give you as much content as possible to make you even more happy. In case you're wondering what I'm doing putting popcorn in a microwave, I'm going to start recording myself around the house. That way, anyone who tries to cut this will have me looking weird and out of context, teleporting around into different rooms. Genius, I know. I'm so smart. For example, I will willingly take the next minute to let the video just play out, and it will be fine.
Now, where was I? Yes. Suffering.
Welcome to Extremely Critical.
Yeah, because I needed to see that twice.
I have grown a community of people who believe what I say, because what I say is the truth.
That's, well, pretty bold of you, isn't it?
I expose people for lying and for doing things that's even worse than that. For doing things that makes you wonder why they're even allowed on the platform in the first place. YouTube? Well, why do you think that?
The system of judgment was flawed to begin with.
Said had a lot of good reception, and everyone loves it and believes what I said, as you can tell by these views, and it's just awesome.
You know, for someone who presently has 1.19k subs, that view count is kind of miserable. I know mine are low, but at least I'm only averaging around 545 at the moment.
But of course, with anything that is, very popular, there is a small subsection of people like...
See, was that so bad? I'll probably do that again. Also, just because I let the video play out for 1 minute doesn't mean I saw the flaws that I could have picked out in that 1 minute. I see everything. On second thought, maybe the puppet was a little too scary.
First of all, you can't even find their comments in the comments.
Bro, I am one of the only people who bothers to comment on your videos. Besides the fleet of 12-year-olds who spam nothing but peak like 6 times over.
Do with this as you will, but I can't find a single comment in any of Talon's videos that are calling him peak. No one's calling him bad, I'm not calling him bad, but it's just something to point out. However, I can in fact find a lot of 12-year-olds. Also, and I'm basing this solely off of comments, if there's something that has more views or more attraction to it, I'm wrong then. But the two biggest videos that Talon is reacting to that's gotten a lot of engagement is me and Ethycs. Just a thought.
That thinks what I say is not truthful and I'm a liar.
Talon. Weren't you the one correcting my grammar in your first reaction video? That's so hypocritical of you. That would be like if I was making fun of you for misspelling the word liar, and yet I secretly had the same spelling mistake in the Google Doc of this very script.
Okay. Let me get this straight. You, Talon, yes, you, are the ultimate decider of the objective truth, and everything you say is the law. But anyone who dares to disagree or think otherwise is a pathological liar and should not be trusted. Have you considered becoming a politician?
I mean, that's not exactly where my brain goes.
One of these group members decided to make an entire, over 20-minute, dedicated video towards me.
An under 20-minute video. I did my research. You can fight me all you want, but I did my research.
And that video is by Ethycs.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Guy made this video where he defends this person.
What? Here I come.
I don't know if you're able to relate to this, but I have these things called friends. Cam happens to be one of them.
Well, you slapped me in the face, turned me into a woman to tick me off, turned my nightmares real, and yet you still enjoy my company. You know what, that's pretty true considering how guy friendships work.
Hence, the reason I came out to defend him. Only reason I didn't do the same for Suni and Cheesy earlier on is because I was pretty much swamped with college, and anytime that you released a new video, I was at the Starbucks busy, studying and stuff.
Ethycs, I know you're only saying that so you won't hurt my feelings. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go make emo SoundCloud rap music.
But he defends this guy.
Were there no other pictures of my face available that weren't that blurry? I mean, you used one in the thumbnail. You couldn't figure something out?
Also, why does Ethycs have the body of a woman? Oh, wait, is that Michelle?
Hey, this is the worst video on not only YouTube, it is the worst video on any social media platform ever. Worse than any video on TikTok, worse than any video on Instagram, on Twitter, on...
Okay, so the puppet does go away for a minute because I want this part to be slightly serious. If you've seen the other videos, you know that Talon makes a reference to a naughty website. Me personally, I'm going to skip through a lot of that because I don't want to show that, and I have no respect for it at all, and I don't want to support that in any way. I get it, those two guys, they're older, they're adults, kind of. Talon, I don't know what his age is, he's probably a bit younger. In the end of the day, this channel represents me, and stuff like that isn't really something that I personally agree with or value. So I just try to avoid that stuff. However, I will try and make at least one family-friendly joke. Talon, I'm not saying Ethycs' statement has any truth to it, but if you're lonely and you need help, I can show you how to riz up girls. Trust. Like, I know a lot about that.
Every single sentence in this video is a lie. Nothing is truthful. Not one thing he says is even closely related to the truth.
Including the parts where I agree with you? Alright, noted.
Ethycs, I know you're watching. I know you're watching this video. You want to see what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about you. Let me just say, this entire video will be directed at you. I am looking you in the eye. You got that? You stopped scrolling on your phone as you start listening to what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't think I want to.
Even put in the effort to doom scroll? Because that's clearly just your home screen I'm looking at right there. Like, no one is on their phone just like, yo dude, check this out.
Okay, good. Ethycs, just look at you. Just look at this. Look, here you are, acting self-confident.
I see exhaustion. Full-time job with a company that hates you tends to do that.
That relatable moment when you hate work. So quirky and relatable. I'll be here all week.
Why is the camera tilted? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like straight. Let me fix it. There. I fixed it. There we go. It's supposed to be like that.
Is that better?
Well, you see, my room is actually at a slant, so it's perfectly fine if I keep my camera like this. Trust, this is just how my room looks. Ethycs, on the other hand, his camera needs to be slanted like this. See, now it's perfect.
Is this like a new form of like filmmaking? If so, I don't want to pursue filmmaking anymore.
I think I just unlocked the secret to getting him to shut up.
Actually, Dutch angles, or the occurrence of camera angles being tilted in film, has been around since the 1920s. It was in Sky High and a bunch of anime. Just to prove a point, I put my camera on a Dutch angle. This is very fine.
4 seconds. 4 seconds of silence. Why are you just not talking for 4 straight seconds at the intro? This is not catching my attention.
This is not so much a blow to me as it is a way to reveal the fact that your attention span is so fried you can't bear 4 seconds without constant stimulation.
Just a reminder that you both couldn't build the courage to make it past the hour mark. But I will.
Well, I'm no coward, because I'll be the first. I will go above the hour mark. I will prove that people can watch long-form content still in the big 2026 and not be bored. I will persevere through trial and error, and I will show them all.
I'm doing.
And while you're so convinced that me being quiet for that little increment is enough to destroy audience retention, let's take a look at the view count for my video. Okay, and yours? Interesting.
Good morning, tri-state area.
Is that actually what you just said? You mean for Phineas and Ferb?
The guys from Fortnite?
Like, listen, I know why you did that, so you can get fans of the show to be like, hey, I know that, so that they can be on your side more without even introducing me.
If you would wait for 37 seconds, I would get to who am I kidding? You can't even wait 4. I fail to see how making a Phineas and Ferb reference counts as manipulation.
Yeah, Talon. I watched Phineas and Ferb as a kid too, and I'm not even at all manipulated. I mean, he looks mildly attractive right now, but that's for a whole different reason.
By that logic,
does Shay Frolis manipulate people? A lot of the time he closes out by saying good night, tri-state area, but I guess, referring to a show that millions of people have watched and loved just counts as trying to get into their minds and bend them to your will.
See, this just is part of a bigger issue that perpetuates throughout his entire video, and in other videos that he's made, actually. Talon will have a preconceived notion about a certain creator, and he'll try and take different clips of that creator's video and filter it through said notion in order to recontextualize and warp them into something that they aren't. Case in point, Season 3, Episode 1, where he reviews Sunni. This is arguably one of his worst videos, in my own opinion, because he tries to convince us that Sunni is nothing but selfish and unfunny. Even though if you went and watched her video, it's nothing of the sorts. And everything that he said was utter cow excrement. Cow excrement.
So, at this point, with all the cheesy self-deprecation jokes and the now cheesy replacements for swear words, it all makes me wonder, how many of your jokes do you get from Facebook moms?
And here he is doing it again. But you'll find that this specific hyperbole is gonna cause a few problems.
Like, manipulation you should be in jail if you manipulate literally anyone.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Give me a moment.
Julie, you're under arrest!
Are we gonna ignore the fact that that very real cop behind the American flag just called Ethycs Jolene? Didn't know that was a boy's name. What is this, a Dolly Parton song?
I know. I'm not animated.
And that's true, I'm not. So how can everything I'm saying be a lie?
Why does the audio sound like a Kings Island worker? Actually, you know what? I can't complain.
Why would we care about that? Answer, we don't. We don't care about that at all. You're saying that because if new viewers watch this video, because let's be honest, no viewer of yours that's already subscribed is going to care about a video like this.
Actually, most of, if not all, the comments that I received on that video up to this point have been from subscribers. Including you, might I add, though that's barely a known. I'm subscribed to you as well.
I've subscribed to you both as well. And also, Ethics, with all those new viewers you've been getting from your VTuber shorts, Talon may have a point about new viewers.
Nor do I have a script written for this.
Wait, hold up, stop. You didn't write a script for this video? What, do you think you're so smart that you know exactly what you're gonna say to a T?
Talon, I'm gonna be honest, I find it really hard to believe that all the stuff you said was planned out and written ahead of time.
Hold on a second. If nothing I say is true...
Every single sentence in this video is a lie. Nothing is truthful. Not one thing he says is even closely related to the truth.
Why would you believe me when I said that I made that video without a script? Could you try to be a little more consistent there? Now, did I actually write a script for that video? No, but I had a system. You see, I was simultaneously watching, editing, and recording. I would pause the video at any point that I wanted to say something. I would rehearse it a few times in order to get a better understanding of what I wanted to say. Then I'd hit the record button, and I'd say it. I didn't know if I wanted to spend a week or so writing a script out, so that's basically what I did.
My one problem with this isn't not having a script, but how are you simultaneously watching a video, recording another video, and then editing said video? Not only does that sound really tedious, but also, like, if you were recording a video, how are you editing the same video? Did you have multiple monitors? Was there, like, magic involved? Did you time travel to make this entire video? Because that sounds really tedious.
And yes, I do actually sometimes trust myself to get things right.
It's an emergency video that I admit I almost forgot to do.
An emergency upload that you almost forgot to make.
Yeah, in retrospect, that does sound pretty stupid.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's broadcast. We have like a severe thunder rainstorm thing. It's like a tornado.
Okay, I'm sorry, but a thunderling, which potentially means lightning, rainstorm that has a tornado in it. That's just a hurricane. Like, don't describe it. Just call it by what it is. Oh, and he's gone. I want to get that on video.
Okay, could you try that again in English this time?
Yesterday afternoon, I had just gotten home from church. My sister was off preparing for a play. My parents were off watching a play.
Okay, hold up. Let's break this down.
Oh, guys, it's K-pop demon fighters.
So, yesterday afternoon, you just got back home from church. You just arrived at the house from church. But when you got there, your parents and sister were doing play stuff. They were able to, like, go to the, like, playhouse and your house, like, very close. Like, are all these things, like, very close together? Because, like, there's, like, did you, like, walk from the church to your house by yourself? Because I don't see how your parents could be watching your sister doing play at the same time that you just got home. That doesn't make any sense. Your story doesn't make any sense.
This one isn't even an argument.
He says as he starts to argue.
Okay, my bad. Let me explain, and I'll be sure to use small words so you'll be able to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
He says using words that are arguably not small.
At the time of recording that video, I was 18 years old. My sister was 17. Both my parents are well into their mid-40s. We collectively own 3 cars, and all 4 people have their own individual driver's licenses. On a day that we know we're all going to wind up in different locations at the same time, we drive separately. And no, I don't live too far away from my church. It's less than 10 minutes to get there, or at least when I'm driving. So, no. When you think about it for a few seconds, it actually...
Could you repeat the part about where you live? I got a friend who would like to know.
Does make sense. All you've proved is your inability to read between the lines. It's not that hard.
I'm just trying to make some food.
Trying to make some food? Ethics, you can't even make cereal correctly. What makes you think that we would think you can actually cook? You can't. You can't make food.
When this video pops up on YouTube...
You mean showed up?
Moot point.
This self-entitled creator...
Said by the guy who thinks he has the power and strength to take me down.
I don't need power and strength. I have good looks, a bad attitude, and snarky humor.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were homeschooled, a dinosaur nerd, and you're friends with me, so I didn't know you had a bad attitude.
And thinks that what I'm saying is actually a lie, and who personally thinks that this specific victim shouldn't be exposed because there's nothing about him to expose.
Cam's video will be in the description below. If you want, you can go ahead and watch it and see if it really is the horrible thing that he's trying to make it out to be.
The best part about all these videos is that they all lead the viewers back to my channel. Call me greedy, but A, you're wrong. B, if you have a problem with what I just said, that means you're giving me watch time.
Talon the Amazing.
Why did you put quotes when saying amazing? That's just my name. That's just what I'm called. Amazing. It's right there. All you had to do is read and you'll find it. What, is that too much for you? Is that too hard for you to do?
Me personally, I've never had a problem with air quotes. I know people who use them all the time and they've never done anything wrong to me. Besides, it's not like you need to have proper grammar when you're saying words. Unless there's captions then, because then you're like spelling them as you say them.
I failed to see the connection where pointing out the fact that you're not amazing equates to not being able to read.
Where he bashes innocent animators for just trying to make videos and putting themselves out there.
And also lying and race baiting and, you know, being racist and, telling kids to do stuff that are bad to their health and also, wasting my time.
Spoken like a true man on Reddit.
Okay, look, I only ever choked one guy on camera. And to be honest, maybe Tyler deserved it.
Well, how is exposing people who are doing this, bashing others?
Just watch the series. It's apparent.
Yeah, and you don't provide any evidence. And because your audience, knowing that you animate and that you may have finished a fur reference, don't try to do any evidence because they're like, he made a funny reference to something I like, and he does something that I like. Animation. So he's a good guy. I don't need to do any of that. Am I correct in saying that?
Verbal.
Let's be honest, Talon. If someone begins to think a YouTuber is cool because they allegedly draw and because they made a reference to one thing, that's really on them.
You are deciding to make a video defending this guy solely and specifically because it affects you and solely you.
No. I'm
Too frickin' shame.
What? Who's Janie Lord?
Oh, ha 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 ha. Oh, it's so funny. He's turning his head thinking that what he's saying is original before being told that the name of someone who's done it before. Oh, that's so cute.
It was more than just a joke. Sure, I was trying to be funny, but at the same time, I was attempting to give credit to the first person to make a response to one of your videos. That person being Jaden Yalor. He went back and he got onto you all the way at the beginning with Season 1, Episode 1. And yet this entire time, you've never bothered to respond to him?
Talon, why didn't you bother to get back at me?
What the heck, man?
I've been done with... Hello? Who the heck is Jack Films?
Great question. I don't know who he is either.
Personally, I don't watch him. I'm sorry, who's the guy we keep looking at when there's no one here?
Hello there. What is that aspect ratio? Why does it look like that?
Oh, my bad. Here we go.
Problem number 1.
What? How? What's the problem there? That's a great intro.
Problem number 1 squared. Don't use random Instagram filters in the big 2026. That's so last, decade ago. This is exactly why I wear a mask, so you people can't add filters to my face.
If you're going to be judging young storytime animators, don't start your videos with the same exact words as they do.
Greetings, fellow organisms. Let me introduce you to...
I would actually like to hear that more as an introduction. It stands out. It's unique. Nobody else does it, as far as I'm aware.
Ethics is right. And you know what? I found a really nice way of starting videos. You start the video, say, I'm quitting YouTube, and then you never make a video again.
Other than the fact that, clearly, you won't animate because you can't draw. Or at least, you won't tell anyone if you can.
Are you blind?
You know, I kind of wish I was. Maybe then I wouldn't have to look at all these atrocities.
Okay, pause there.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Talon, that wasn't the whole clip. Hey, hold on a second. Let's play that entire clip from the original video in full context, okay?
Other than the fact that, clearly, you won't animate because you can't draw. Or at least, You won't tell anyone if you can.
We find videos that are really good, try to put on this channel.
Did you see that? I immediately corrected myself in my own video. He dishonestly cut me out in order to make me look bad. This isn't the only time that he does it either. In fact, I will be going through each and every time that he does this trick.
I would go through all the stuff they cut too from me, but to be honest, going through every single video would be so hard to do because they're so special, to say the least.
Oh, also, I would like to point out the fact that you drew me wrong. Only one of my horns is purple. The other is red. And you forgot my faceplate. Did you actually use a reference, or were you drawing from memory?
As a lot of you already know, Talon drew me as well. And assuming he was trying to be accurate, just want to say that a biblically accurate cam the cube doesn't really have 90-degree corners, rather, but they're smoothed out, as you can tell. They're just not like a perfect corner.
And that's an issue, but why is everyone and their mother having to insert complaints about artificial intelligence into their videos?
Okay, I'm actually gonna take a moment and be serious here. I no longer agree with myself on that argument I was trying to make back in November.
So, Ethics goes on to state his opinions on AI, which I personally agree with. It sucks, and obviously I draw my OC here / Sona as a mech, but truthfully, AI sucks, and if I wasn't busy fighting prepubescent YouTubers, I'd rather fight AI, so yeah. But you are here to see me fight prepubescent YouTubers, so let's get back to that.
School videos, on the other hand, still suck. Multiple views or not.
Yeah, OB, didn't you know that? Come on.
If it's literally any good at all, maybe we'll find a hidden gem. Who knows?
You know, I could make a joke right now about where you could find a hidden gem.
I might.
Wait, so you are able to read in on implications? Where was this a few minutes ago?
You see, our brains are a lot like Polar Express train carts. Sometimes they reappear, a lot of other times they disappear too. They disappear a lot more of the time.
Oh, holy tips! Is that Buckethead from the Tears of the Kingdom trailer?
Number 2. I said sheep. Here, play the full clip, please.
Oh, holy shit! Is that Buckethead from the Tears of the Kingdom trailer?
Sheep. Not the S word. Granted, I did accidentally cuss earlier on in the video. I said, you showed that earlier when you were trying to make a point about the Jaden Your Lord joke, and you made sure to censor it. If you wanted to point out how I contradicted myself when I was trying to say that I was mildly family friendly, and I'd say that saying once still counts as mildly family friendly, you could have used that. But no. You took something that wasn't a cuss word to begin with, censored it to make it sound like a cuss word, and then put it in there to yet again make me look like a liar. So either you A, misheard me and this was an honest mistake, or B, you knew exactly what I said, but went through with it anyways because you didn't think that people were gonna try and fact the sources. Not cool.
Me personally, I just want to avoid that at all costs and be safe. You know, that way I have the least amount of chances to be canceled at any point on Twitter.
Also, no, that's not from the Kingdom Thing trailer. I don't even play Zelda games. I think they're pretty boring.
Respect for you now, just...
You know, while on the topic of censorship, I gotta ask, what were you doing?
Raise your hand if you think Ethycs should be thrown in a volcano.
Wow, look at that relatable moment where Ethycs is fighting with his sister. I'm really glad I don't have those problems.
Cam, get out of my room!
That's not your line! Shut up!
Hey, am I the only one who knows that that's a freaking paper plate?
No, but I think you're the only one who doesn't know that's supposed to be a joke.
I can't believe it. The point I'm making in this entire video summed up in one sentence.
So let me get this straight about the both of you. When the other makes a joke, it's actually something stupid and they need to be held accountable for it. But when you do something potentially stupid that you could hold yourself accountable for, you choose not to because it's a joke. You know, if you take me out of the picture, this really sounds like an old married couple dynamic.
Who do you think you are, JonTron?
Yeah, more like Steven Spielberg, but you know, that's fine.
Are we talking Jaws and Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg, or Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg? Right now, I feel like it's more of the latter.
Okay, pause. I want us to watch this next scene carefully.
I wasn't referring to that. Just wait a few minutes.
You've been living in a sewer-type...
Alright, so, I think I have a question for you.
Do you get dehydrated a lot?
So, in my video, I complained about Cam's Cube's very boring intro, and I decided to say, blah, 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 no one cares, I don't like it, skip this, boring, something along the lines of that, and, you said, just,
Like a few, less than a minute ago.
in your video, that you're gonna get back to that and talk about it.
I wasn't referring to that. Just wait a few minutes.
I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what the purpose of that scene was. It's not clipped or cut. I didn't do that. I didn't change it in any way. It just looks like that. It's like a YTP in the middle of a normal YouTube video. That's so stupid. Like, why would I turn my YouTube video, a normal YouTube video, into a YTP? Into a Y.
life?
No, I haven't. Do you think I'm poor? Do you think I'm a poor guy?
That's a lot coming from the guy who wears a plastic bucket on his head, writes on paper plates, and probably doesn't have a microphone that actually works.
Bucket was for a joke. Plastic plate was for a joke.
Paper.
You can speak on the microphone one, because you don't even have a microphone.
Okay, so I was actually gonna use this. Only problem is that the cable does not plug into the iPad, but the mic in the iPad has always been serving me fine anyways, and if you're about to complain about the white noise that's been happening in the background of this video, I had to compensate for wearing a hoodie in July.
A little behind the scenes, but in almost every video I've used a different mic. In my last few videos I've used a Blue Yeti. In my first ever videos I used a very crappy mic. And right now for this video, since I'm recording on my phone, I'm having to use this little tiny thing. To be honest, I don't know if any of them have really been that good. Some of it's just also like computer processing quality too. All my microphones be like, hey, you know?
Oh my gosh, this guy left the cough-in. Okay, Ethycs, so in Cam's video, I complained about him leaving a in blatantly in his video. And you decided to counteract that by coughing and then staring at the camera saying nothing for about 20 seconds. I don't get what you're going for. Were you trying to do like a gotcha, like, see, I told you, but that doesn't make any...
I can't stop. Honestly. No. I'm
No reason.
Can't believe I never noticed this before, but look at how he holds his microphone. I should have photoshopped the other hand.
So, something I want to point out that I noticed while this was premiering live on YouTube. Ethycs and Talon look pretty similar when you compare them side by side. Me and a lot of other people in the live chat noticed that. And it made me get curious.
I dug deep into the records like I never have before. I got reports from people. I connected the cliche yarn together so much that I could not untangle them. I was determined to get to the bottom of where all this goes. Video lore, ancient tunnel paintings, and a few weird videos from the archives of Talon's YouTube channel. I traced it all to the one guy that's in this very video.
Oh, where am I? Well. If you think this is somehow going to help you solve the mystery between Ethycs and Talon looking similar, you do realize that I am you. Well, okay, to be honest, we wanted to make this skit as short as possible, that way future Cam doesn't have to have a lot of pain editing this. So we just kind of cut to the chase, and yeah, this leads back to you. But this doesn't make any sense. What would I have to do with them looking similar? Time to find out.
Holy third commandment violation. I have to crank my phone up to full volume to hear you speak.
I think you're just deaf. Might as well get some hearing aids to go along with those glasses.
That's like giving me iocane powder and then accusing me of not being able to smell or taste when I lay there dying. It's not my fault that that video is quiet. In fact, I went back and tested it. For some reason, the volume is literally just super low. I had to edit it when I made my own videos. So, no, that's no fault of mine. That's your fault. Just accept it.
In terms of volume, I'm not having any problems, but Talon, I cannot stress this enough. You need to learn to pronunciate your words, because it's not good. Have you ever read what the captions are telling you say? Because none of it seems at all like English. Ethycs has already pointed this out, and I'm going to point it out too. And to prove a point, I'm going to painstakingly go into captions and rewrite what you're saying to make it look accurate.
I suck. I don't know why you include that. If you include, like, an out of context clip saying I suck when I never really did say that, you just remove the context.
You know what? Fair. I was assuming at the time that my viewers would realize you yourself weren't trying to say that you suck, but I'm gonna give you that.
In fact, there are multiple small channels that are in this video.
If you've actually gone and watched this video, you already know the point that I'm about to make as I left it in the comment section, but what the heck, Talon? When did I give you consent to show a picture of me in a video that I didn't consent to be featured in?
I put you in there for 16 frames. Kim put you in your video for over a second.
The strategy is, if I reference a bunch of YouTube animators, I can later at them in my videos, and then they come and they watch it, they comment, and then I get views. You don't think that works? Go check the comments in my videos. Tell me how many of them aren't animators.
That Jesus once said in the Bible about taking the log out of your own eye before you remove the speck in someone else's?
Okay, well, first of all, it's plank, not log, so there's that.
Potato, potato.
And secondly, Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Do not judge, or you too will be judged.
He says while judging me for judging him for judging Can the Cube.
If it were me personally, the Bible verse I would suggest to you the most here it is. Let's see. If any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you.
Show last aired in 1981, so if I was the target demographic, I would be at least 44 years old.
Buddy, you're never too old for the Muppets.
Yes, you are. It's literally rated G. And in some cases, PG. Specifically for kids and little babies.
So while Ethycs is talking about specifically animated movie ratings, I'm going to tell you a rant about the Muppets. So Jim Henson himself stated multiple times that Muppets was not designed specifically for children. Yes, he made Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock and a bunch of other examples, but the Muppet Show specifically was designed to be for all ages, and including adults, it has a lot of adult stuff. One of the first pilots up to the Muppets, besides the Valentine's Day special, is called Muppet Show and Violence, which is so inappropriate that I probably have to bleep out part of that. And yes, the episode is about exactly what you would expect. There is violence, and there's the other thing that I can't tell you about. On the same note, that song that I was alluding to in the Muppets a few seconds ago was from the Muppet Show, and it's a song called Lydia the Tattooed Lady. This is one of the many examples of Muppets being for adults, where the song is literally about a man who travels by exploring all the different tattoos on a woman's body. Fun. Now, I would tell you that the only reason Muppets itself is rated for kids and it has the G rating, it was the 1970s and anything was passable at that time. It just occurred to me, I think it's also important to mention that the modern version of Muppets that's now in the hands of Disney, of all people, sadly, it is targeted for kids, I have to admit it, and there's a lot of things that Disney's done that I personally don't think was a good idea for them. The remakes, the sequels, and yes, they watered down the Muppets, which is sad. However, if you want to see other stuff by Jim Henson that's for adults specifically, I would tell you that there's two good recommendations called The Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. Yes, I know you're thinking, they both have the PG family rating. They look like they're for kids, but I promise you they are for adults. And I can prove this by also saying that eventually when Dark Crystal got its remake, they had to switch it from PG to PG-13, which is an upgrade, so yeah. I think someone's over there. I don't know who that is. Also, Ethics, in this entire single bit that you've done, you've referenced like 50 movies, and they're all from like big corporate who would sue you for referencing their movies. On the topic of stuff that Disney's done, legal actions is one of them. And yes, this kind of pertains to me now as well because I'm showing this all. But fortunately for me, I'm a coward, so I'm more careful than you, I'd say.
Being an adult, and you're still into kid stuff.
Wait a minute, it just occurred to me. You make this entire series just to judge people's animations, right? Isn't animation for kids?
First of all, it's expose, not judge.
Reframing me dishonestly, number 3!
Animations, right? Isn't animation for kids?
It was at this moment when he realized he fricked up.
I didn't mean it when I said that animation was for kids. That was a joke. And I called myself out for that again. Do you think that I, an artist, an animator, who takes his passion seriously and wants to pursue it later on throughout his life, thinks that animation is just for kids? Gee, would you looky there, a G-rated movie!
So, why is animation for any age of any kind, but Muppets are strictly for kids? I mean, if I was Talon, I would call that racism, but I'm not Talon, so I don't really think that's racist. But I don't like it either.
Attracted to older pieces of media.
You do.
I think you're clearly overreacting to this.
Said by the guy whose brain was shattered when he was forced to witness to the paper plate.
Talon, why did your paper plate have holes in it? Were you eating too much again?
Yes. When in doubt, take a pause that I made for dramatic effect and reframe it to make me look like an idiot.
Talon, do you have something to hide?
What does that even mean? Are you suggesting that I have like secret love towards feelings towards like fictional characters? No, I'm not a creep. You. Allegedly. In my opinion.
Talon, you don't need to weirdly side-eye the camera, whisper in my ear, and say allegedly. He's never once hid the fact that he likes fish. What did I tell you?
You saw nothing.
You spelled butt wrong.
Can you quit stating the obvious?
Can you quit going to that barber who's clearly doing you dirty with that bad attempt at Banks' hair?
Actually, no. I brushed at myself, and that's what my hair looks like around the time that I need to go and get it cut. Also, Nice try at an insult, but my hairdresser is a close friend of the family. We've known her since I was at least a little baby, and she's one of the few people that I even trust with my head. In fact, she's the person who shaved my hair off for me while I was going through chemo, so yeah, try again.
Well, after that whole detective skit, this is pretty ironic. Respect to Ethics Barbara, though, for helping him through cancer. That's a pretty noble thing of her to do.
Cover it up by making it a butt joke.
So funny, Cameron Kim.
Butter, are you okay? I think you just got possessed by
So, remember what I said about trying to not get canceled?
Ethics. Did you seriously compare me to a female? That is the most sexist thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, I wasn't trying to call you a woman. I was just saying that that laughter came from the same corner of... Plus, it would be a nightmare if either of you got in the office.
Ethics, if you'd like to join me this Thanksgiving, I have some family members you'd really love to meet.
Cam? Come here real quick, Cam. Where was that hand?
From in between two pillows.
I am getting more stupider just from watching this crap.
Context number 4, people. Play the whole clip.
Where was that hand? Where did that hand come from?
From in between two pillows. I wouldn't expect you to understand that joke because clearly you don't like it when people enjoy older pieces of media.
I wouldn't know.
See, I was making a planes, trains, and automobiles joke there. But, no. Instead, he just wanted me to look crazy.
There are so many animation mistakes in just this one motion.
Alright, that one I actually can't argue with. Now that I see it, I really can't unsee it. Yeah, Cam, there's no defending you this time. Just this time, though.
Wow, Ethics, it's really cool to see that you're actually accepting that I'm right.
Okay, look, when I said old married couple dynamic, I was kidding. You don't have to prove anything. I was kidding.
Wait. But, hold on, Talon. What did you say earlier?
Every single sentence in this video is a lie. Nothing is truthful. Not one thing he says is even closely related to the truth.
Ethics, if this is a proper flashback, where's all the reverb and thought bubble effects? This just has glitch effects like it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Once again, if everything I say is supposedly a lie, why would you believe me when I said that I agree with you? Also, cut it out with the hearts, dude. I know you posted this in June, but I'm straight.
Yeah, by the last few shorts you've made, I can tell.
Like a nerd.
Wow, great job, Cam. Really, you just managed to insult millions of people across the world just for saying a sentence.
I was supposed to be offended?
Ethics, I never called you a nerd. But I will say those glasses aren't helping you. That also means racism.
How in the world does calling someone a nerd connect to racism?
Racism, prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial group. And as we all
know, nerds are a different species than humans.
Talon, if nerds are a whole different species compared to humans, then me hating them isn't racist. That would be speciesist. That would be like if I found this planet filled with blue people and I just decide to hate them and raid them of their stuff. Sure, the whole movie is a weird tie-in to colonialism, but it's still not racism, technically.
So, having Cam the Cube, insulting nerds, specifically nerds, and saying that I'm a nerd, which is meant to be an insult against nerds, is obviously an insult against all nerds.
6 stones are nothing. 6 stones are nothing. You're repeating yourself, you know that? You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
Which is racism.
You call an entire personality group subhuman, but Cam says the word nerd, and he's the racist one?
Hope that explains it.
Why would you ever be making that... Oh, yeah.
What was that?
my fault for bad editing. Basically, what I was doing at the time is I was going to call you a snowflake because you're sensitive enough to put pronouns in your profile, one of the few things that I am above. But I had second thoughts and cut it out.
So the problem I have with that is, A, that has nothing to do with what we were talking about with nerds and racism, and B, whether you look at his YouTube, his Discord, or his Instagram, I can't find a single time where he mentions his pronouns, unless you count I or you. But I wouldn't really call that, like, the important pronouns, because I think everyone calls themselves I and everyone calls each other you, you know.
Was I supposed to imply that I'm racist? With what evidence?
No, nerds are a different species than humans.
I guess I don't have those second thoughts anymore.
Why is his face like that?
Why is your face like that? My eyes are ready to file a restraining order.
Dude, have you looked in the mirror ever?
Yeah, go ahead, continue insulting my looks all you want. But at least my voice doesn't sound like the love child of the Polar Express kid and a mid-pubescent junior asparagus.
That's an oddly specific description. Also, if you look back at this old video from Ethycs, he kind of does sound similar to Talon as well. Not in every way, but, you know, I'm just trying to make him mad by doing this.
In your life.
And I bought basically every book.
Alright, wait. Let's look that back. So, you said that you were 10, and that you somehow bought all the books while you were 10. Do I smell a liar? Yes.
Do you not know that some kids get this thing called an allowance?
Do you really expect me to believe that kids under 16 are actually being handed money by grown adults?
So, no, you don't.
Now that's just stupid.
I gotta stop replying to every random DM you guys send me.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me.
I hate you. Once again, Ethycs, why did you cut the context of that clip?
Okay, if we're really not counting the pillows thing, I think we're at, what, 2 for 3 at this point? Wait, no. Hold on. Let's go all the way back to your video on cam. And, yeah.
We're just gonna skip this section. It doesn't mean anything to the video at all, so it's fine if we skip it. I hate you.
Okay, so it looks like I cut out what was seemingly an insignificant sentence and just left in the part where you turned and said, I hate you, to Cam. In other words, the context is still relatively there. You hated him for making that weird song, which I didn't know how to feel about that either. That's why I was just sitting there pretending to drink coffee. But here's the difference between your edit and mine. I just made it simpler and more entertaining. So in reality, if you compare the amount of times that I have dishonestly re-edited any of your clips versus the amount of times that you've done it to me, it is, excluding the pillows, 1 to 3. I'd say that my track record in that area is pretty darn good, wouldn't you think?
You know, it's almost like I was right about not clipping things. But no, don't listen to Cam, because he made a crappy remake of a meme from 2024.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. You did it to Cam also, with his introduction. Roll the full clip, please.
If you've been living in a sewer-type cage your whole life, like an animal, you've probably heard of the Muppets.
I get it. My videos aren't that good. I don't want to look at the old ones for too long. Please, please stop. It makes me sick.
Okay, so he wasn't trying to call you poor. It was just a weirdly executed intro to the Muppets.
Hey, cool people understand that reference. That was from the first time Animal was ever shown on screen. From that very same pilot I talked about called Muppets Bleep and Violence.
Thanks for, lying and making it all about yourself.
That's the video.
No, this is now over half of the video we just got through. And we are just now actually talking about what is in the title. GameCube, I know what you're doing here. You're trying to get watch time, so you try to get the video up to 8 minutes, because so I can play. I know what you're doing, okay?
And it's disgusting. It's disgusting what we're trying to do.
You wanna know what's disgusting? You spend at least 3 minutes complaining about why it took him 3 minutes to get to the point of his video.
To emphasize a point. Obviously, if I just say it took a while for us to get here, then like it wouldn't be enough. I had to really make it clear that it took so long to get to this specific point of the video.
So I did that by saying, like, it took this long. It took this long to get to this point. It took ports to redo that. And also, why are you sped up? I can't really make me sped up, so like, try to say, oh, this guy went up for too long, so speeding up at the same time. You know, I didn't really talk that long. But why did you sped up? Why are you sped up? To make it like shorter? I mean, I appreciate that. They wanted to make it shorter. Maybe you realized that I went on for too long yourself, so, but why? It doesn't make sense to me very much.
I'm not going to make my voice high-pitched because this world is already suffering when it comes to high-pitched trios. Particularly rodents.
But you don't understand funny, do you?
It looks like Ethycs has put his video backwards. I guess I'll just have to reverse Ethycs. Wait, reverse Ethycs. Yo!
Also, what is with that overly critical sign next to you? Why would you do that with the A? What is the point of that giant black square and that overly long L?
So I can make the sign have more personality to it, so it's not just dull and uninteresting. Having like elements like that makes it more good for the eye. Smell a liar?
More good for the eye.
Same with this sign. I have my victims right here, and also it just looks very nice.
Yeah, but at least that sign doesn't look like it was made by a toddler.
Why are we on this topic? What?
I don't know. I don't know. It's all crazy and I can't explain it. This video's crazy. For the past 6 days I've been recording as a puppet. I don't want to be a puppet, man. I don't want to.
We are becoming one.
I don't want to be a puppet.
Why are we talking about my background now? I thought we were talking about the video, not the background. Ethycs, if you're going to talk about my background, how about I talk about your background? Okay, we see you have like a lamp. What is that supposed to be like? Your like nightlight? Do you have nightmares? Are there like monsters under your bed?
Okay, believe it or not, Ethycs is really safe down here.
Reading lamp.
You have like homework, I'm guessing, like middle school homework you have to finish up. Why are you recording this video when you have work right on your desk you have to finish?
No, that's not homework. I wasn't in college yet. I'm just a klepto.
And there you have, on your wall, you have like drawings that you made, which is very selfish. Like with this sign, I have my victims right here. And also, it just looks very nice.
More good for the eye.
One of those I kind of just put up because I needed to do something with it. The one at the very top is art relating to the book that I'm working on, so I keep that as a visual reminder, and I kind of like it. And the other I drew to put in my collage for my graduation ceremony, because that one really means a lot to me and was just a visual interpretation of a lot of emotional things that I was going through in that period of my life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because when something's this far away, you can totally tell what it is. Hi, Archie. There's no need for that.
A giant Pokemon card? What kind of loser likes Pokemon anymore? In a bag guy? You made when you were probably like 5 or something?
No, I didn't make that paper bag puppet when I was 5. It's a puppet of Senpai that I made in July for a skit where I had him marry his fictional bread lady and then eat his child. Get it right, please. Do your research.
And I break the first rule, which is to record stuff.
Oh. Just taking pictures and videos of stuff you're not supposed to? That's pretty average. Okay, a lot of people do that.
Let's be fair, buddy. If he was actually committing highly nefarious deeds in the middle of a public amusement park, do you think he'd be brave enough to be putting that stuff on the internet?
To be fair, it does seem to be a big deal when you record in public nowadays.
Stop filming me!
Even going to be talking about what happened with Sam the Eagle's face in this clip? If you're gonna be judging stuff, I feel like you should be getting onto that.
Who are you to say what I should and shouldn't
Well, no offense to Sam the Eagle or anything, but if I were to tell you this was a reference of one of his earlier designs, you would believe me because his earlier designs are stuff of nightmares.
I'm shaking in my boots!
I don't know, the only real crime I'm seeing so far is your haircut.
Down of all time. The biggest betrayal. This is like ever watched.
Have you ever had a dream where you
Okay, I don't know why you're making fun of disabled people now, but I guess, that's fine, whatever. Like, you just hate the disabled people. That also means racist.
Correction, it's ableism. Which you have done to me as well by insulting my eyesight.
Hey, to my disabled audience, you guys are just as capable as making good videos like us. In fact, you're way more capable than making good videos than us.
Unlike your
I don't even want to know what he was actually saying there before it got cut off. I don't care about his anymore.
No, you really don't.
The thing that happens that I want to talk about is that he dabs, which I want to talk about because this was like this close to make me check myself into a mental hospital.
Wait, you're not actually in one yet?
Ethics. This is my room. Do I look like I am in an insane asylum? I have a window. I have a chimney. I have clothes. I have access to the internet. You are not even thinking about what to say anymore. You are literally running out of insults. You're just saying whatever comes to mind. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. As long as it's directed at me, then it's a good insult.
Interesting. I don't understand why Talon is some sort of SCP that needs to be put in solitary confinement now, but I kind of dig that concept.
Me personally, I have no experience with solitary confinement.
I personally just about had it with him anyways.
Know what to do except grade can the cube.
I never want to hear that in my freaking life again.
And I never want to see your freaking face on my screen ever again.
And I never want to pee in a public urinal ever again.
Okay. D minus. Minus.
Minus. Oh, a D plus, mathematically speaking. Nice job, Cam.
That's still a bad grade. A D plus is not a good grade. It's still like a failing grade.
Yeah, I know that, Talon. But guess what? It's a flipping joke!
It appears Ethycs is taking on the role of puppet guy because it would be inconvenient for me to get that other puppet out of the secret compartment. Plus, I don't really want to.
You suck, you're the worst person ever, and I hope that you will never give me disability ever!
Wow. This is the first time in a long time I've ever seen somebody get so overly pissed off their entire camera actually spirals into the void of blackness. Do us a favor and stay in there.
You know, I think everyone watching here that's not Ethics and me can say the exact same thing about you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, spat your insults. Folks, who here actually wants to see me spiral into the void? Get out!
Well, I already made that joke with my sister, so there's no way I could do it again. Hey, no, this is my room, obviously. What are you doing? Okay, get out.
There's nothing in this video that I would want to see again. It is full of lies. It is full of hatred. It is full of stupid, unfunny jokes.
And yet still funnier than any joke you've made this entire video.
Not one thing is good. Not 1 minute, not 1 second, not 1 frame, not 1 zeptosecond of this video is even remotely good.
Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of.
Good, or even mediocre. It's all bad, it's all terrible. There is not a chance that anyone on the planet, therapists, doctors, your parents, no one can help you.
Hey, you! So your instinct this time around was to turn into the shark from Finding Jesus. Interesting.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching.
Why am I still here?
I don't know, but do you realize that the full force of the sun is like beaming through your window? Like, could you not get any more proper lighting?
Do you realize how much I've suffered? How much sleep that I've sacrificed? The mental and emotional exhaustion, and you've put me through having to re-watch that horrid video of yours and listen to your grating, condescending voice for hours upon hours into the night. I can't do this anymore. Why do I try? My efforts are futile. Lord knows you've already watched through the premiere at this point, and you realize I didn't view you as God, so you are going to come and tear my good arguments apart and stitch them back together as lunacy so that you can feel good about yourself again.
Ethics, when I say that you've read way too many Shakespeare soliloquies, I do mean it.
All is in vain. But at least it's over. For now, this whole stupid thing is over.
Well, seems like we're at the end of the video. At least theirs. I still have some things I want to say. I came outside because, sure, it's like thundering and it's probably going to rain soon, but it's an actively nice day outside. Plus, unlike those two buffoons, I really like to be at peace and in nature, touching grass. As you can see, I have some notes right here just to end the video off with for both of them. This isn't in any particular order, so do with that as you will. Let's read them. Number 1, Talon, you need to get better at pronouncing your words and saying your words and using your words. Because to be honest, you sound like nothing I've ever heard. It does not sound good, and you need to like get a speech coach or something or take classes. I promise you there are ways you can learn to speak better. Note number 2, if you guys keep insulting the other's looks, you're also insulting yourself because you look similar. So I would probably stop doing that. It's going to be a lot more helpful in the long run if you think of more better original jokes. Point number 3, if there was one I want you to take seriously out of any of these last final notes, it'd be this one. Look, I tolerated the swearing most of the time. I tolerated all the weird humor, but we cannot mention a naughty site again. My managers, my parents that I still live with, in a very I'm a Discord modder way. I'm not a Discord mod, I assure you. I go outside, obviously, so they probably won't let me continue this video if stuff like that keeps appearing, so cut it out. Ethycs, can you please tell me how demonetized your video got after all those references to other movies? I want to laugh at you for that, so... Or 5, don't cut the video. Even if you keep the context, it should not be cut. Okay, if you're cutting the video, that means there's less video. And how are we supposed to know the full lore of this whole series if it's cut? Number 6, just accept that I have the better dance moves. And while you can't see my face, I'm the better looking one. I'm going to stand to the side so that way you can look at all the fan art. Looks really good, doesn't it? I'm going to set that to the side for a minute. You know, this wasn't a very interesting video to make. I want to be clear, I didn't say it at the beginning of the video, but this isn't made to attack or harass any of them in any way, okay? They can have their fun with their videos and I can have my fun. There's a fly. So yeah, don't go thinking I hate them. They're my friends that I don't know. It's kind of parasocial in a way, but we're friends.
Also,